Hey group leaders, Pastor McKinney here. Welcome to week 5 of our spring semester of Growth Groups, a place where friends help friends follow Jesus. I hope that you guys had an encouraging and blessed time at worship and prayer last week. Thank you so much for leading your groups in this way. It's very important that we come together and really begin to recognize how important it is that we seek the Lord's face together at worship and prayer. Hopefully you guys are beginning to grow in comfortability with each other. So if you realize we're coming into the month of April now. So we just finished March, we're in the April now. That means we're approaching the halfway point. So hopefully you guys have had plenty of time to become comfortable with each other and have a sense of friendship. Now it's time in the month of April to begin encouraging your group to grow in transparency. And you as the leader are going to need to take the initiative on this. Not just only your transparency in your conversations, but even your transparency as you guys pray with each other. So it's very important that you keep that in mind. Now we're going to be diving into lesson 3 of caring for one another. And the title is Know the Heart. This chapter is all about knowing the core of who people are. In our conversation, so last week we talked about admitting your need, moving toward people, and then listening well. But as you engage in the superficial conversations, not that those are bad, but we want to get below that and we want to get to the heart level of people in our conversations. But there's a key when you're trying to know someone's heart, and that is you have to follow the emotions. Our hearts get excited, they get depressed, they get sad, they get angry. And so in our conversations, you're listening well, and if you notice people's emotions kind of getting engaged, that's kind of an open window to their heart, and you engage at that point there. Dr. Welch also talks about 3 different levels of human desires. He talks about these just natural desires. These are things like your desire for food and sleep, and so we all have these. But then there's a deeper level called the moral desires. These have to do with the moral direction of your life. It has to do with desires like hypocrisy and bitterness and anger and love and compassion and kindness. And that's when you kind of start to get down to the core of who people are. But even broader and bigger than that is our Godward desires. This is the 3rd level. This has to do with the direction of our lives, whether we are facing God or we are turning away from God. But the fancy theological phrase is coram Deo. Everybody is either facing God or their back is turned to God. And so this really does determine a lot of people's hearts. If they are living before God and they are facing Him, and they're seeking Him, it's going to affect their hearts in very positive ways. But if you're running from Him, it affects us in very negative ways. So give people some time this week. This is a pretty deep topic to begin processing this chapter. And make sure you go nice and slow as people are trying to understand the complexities of the human heart. I love you guys. Your advocates are praying for you. The Lord is with you. Trust the Spirit. See you next week.